Hey, so we're checking out a YouTuber. First time I watched a video of his, 1.9 million subscribers. Goodness gracious, man. Atozi. TikToker facing 8 years prison after caught lying. Holy moly, what did she say? She does look a little crazy, to be honest, but let's have a look.
They just fired me, and the police are doing nothing! I lost my job! That was my only way to make money to pay my bills!
This TikTok DoorDash driver just went from viral victim to felony defendant after she came online, saying that she was SA'd on the job, and now she's facing years in prison for the video that she posted herself.
3 days ago, October 12th, 2025, I was a victim of SA by a DoorDash customer while I was doing my job as a DoorDash driver. The DoorDash customer requested that their order be left at their front door. Their front door was wide open, their lights were on, they were sleeping on the couch within eyesight of the front door with
Oh, I think I heard of this. Yeah, just leave the damn pizza there. If anything, ring the bell. Did she enter did she enter someone else's house? I mean, don't they train Door Dashers when it comes to this? Usually I've never had any problems with Door Dashers, to be honest. I thought there was some kind of training, like don't enter someone else's house.
their pants and underwear pulled down to their ankles. They were sleeping on the couch within eyesight of the front door with their pants and underwear pulled down to their ankles, and they were indecently exposed to me.
Well, as it turns out, that's not exactly what happened. If you need a perfect example of how fast a viral, victim story can flip upside down, this is it. Because this video was posted in mid-October by Olivia Henderson, or IRL Monster Hideall on TikTok, and she went viral pretty fast as a DoorDash driver who claimed that she was SA'd on the job.
Of course, because that's a terrible thing. I mean, if it does happen that someone SAs a girl who's like, it's an awful thing. They need to go to prison and all of that, but it needs to be real. So not SA as a crime is extremely serious, but so is false accusations of SA. So it's very important, I think, that whenever it is confirmed by a jury and there is proof, then yes, the perpetrator of an SA crime needs to pay for what they have done. With that being said, when something like this happens, we'll have to watch the rest of the story. But if it did come out that it's proven, like imagine camera footage or something like that, that she lied about it.
And now, as of last week, she's been arrested, charged with 2 felonies, and could be facing years in prison. And depending on who you ask, she's either a woman who reported a traumatic event or someone who turned a drunk sleeping customer into content and then lied about it for clout.
I reported it to DoorDash, and DoorDash did ban the customer, and then 2 days later, DoorDash banned me, which doesn't seem unrelated. They didn't even provide me a reason for my deactivation. They're supposed to send an email, they didn't. And within 12 hours afterward, they had already denied my appeal. DoorDash deactivated me. DoorDash punished me for exposing my assaulter, and TikTok is currently punishing me for exposing my story time. I also reported this to the police, and the police are doing nothing. I was assaulted. I lost my job. I'm the victim.
Yeesh. So this whole thing just starts back in October 20th in Oswego, New York. Olivia was delivering an order for DoorDash, and according to her, the customer had asked for the food to be left at the front door. She said that she walked up to the house and found the front door wide open, lights on, and the customer lying on his couch with his pants and underwear pulled down to his ankles. She described him as fully exposed and said that she'd been put in danger simply by doing her job. Now, obviously, that's not an ideal situation to witness on the job, but it could also be explained as a guy who got super drunk, ordered some Wendy's, and then passed out before it got there. Not a great look, but I don't think it's illegal to do that, especially because he was in his own house and he wanted the order at his front door.
Yeah, that's the part I don't understand. Just leave the order at the front door and go. Of course, if you see that there is if it looks like the front door was cracked open, there is blood and someone was assassinated, I will then report it to the police. You're not supposed to be vigilante anyways for this.
But more on that later. So, in her first series of videos, she told the story with the tone of someone who was still shaking from what happened. She said everything was caught on camera. She also said that she didn't want this to happen to any other women, which is why she came forward with this story on TikTok. And with the video, she also reported this to DoorDash and the police. And her initial post grabbed more than 22 million views for a brief moment, and TikTok seemed ready to rally around her. But that didn't last long, because within days, TikTok removed her video for violating community guidelines, and the talk around her started changing, because she posted more videos saying that TikTok kept trying to silence her. And then she said that DoorDash fired her for reporting an incident, and she said the police were punishing her instead of helping her.
You know, that's very strange, because at one point, even if at first I may have sympathized with her, although again, it depends, did she go in? That already gives her a red flag. Did she film the customer? That it's another red flag unless you use it to report it to the police, I suppose. But then again, it's in his house. That's the weird part. But regardless, if you post that footage online, what are you doing then? You need to post it. You're trying to make money off of it. Send it to the police at that point. Let the authorities deal with it.
So see, that seems odd when three entities are suddenly going against her at once.
Exactly.
What's going on? One of the biggest points in chaos of this entire story is the debate over whether Olivia actually walked up to an already open door or pushed it open herself. In the first video, she insisted the door was actually wide open when she arrived, meaning the guy on purpose left his door open for her. Thus, as she claims, he left himself exposed for her to see. But pretty fast, other creators started putting out screenshots that showed that she had quietly deleted an earlier version of that video, one that showed her nudging the door open before panning to the sleeping guy on the couch.
Okay, well then it's entirely her fault. Zero. Then the guy just fell asleep. It's kind of weird, to be honest, fall asleep like that. Like, what the heck is he doing? But then again, it's not illegal to do that in his house. He just asked for the food. Probably what he wanted to do at one point. He would have woken up. He probably was completely drunk. He would have woken up, opened the door, get the food, close the door, and that was the end of it. If she had to nudge the door open, yeah, that's you don't do that. You don't enter someone else's house, particularly when you've been instructed to leave the food at the door, which means he didn't even want you to knock.
And the original clip was deleted, but I don't think this has anything to do with TikTok silencing her here, because she posted a video of a dude laying there exposed on his couch in his own house, and she posted it for millions of people online to see. I don't know about you guys, but I think the video got deleted because of that. So obviously that's not allowed on the platform, hence why I can't show the clip here. But there were these side-by-side screenshots that started popping up of whether the door was closed or left open. Either way, dude is in his own house, so is this illegal? No. But my main question is, why is she walking around in this dude's house? Like, drop the food on the doormat, take a picture, and move on to your next order. You don't need to be, hello? There's no reason to play Resident Evil in someone's house. This whole situation doesn't make sense whatsoever. Did she just use this as a ploy for attention?
No, she used it as a ploy for viral views. She thought she could use this guy. See, that's terrible. He's the victim. He's the victim. But if the door, now that we say, it's obvious, if all three entities are going against her, it probably means that they could review the data that she deleted, and it was clear that the door, that she opened it. And you can't do that. You can't enter someone else's home and invite it, particularly in the United States. And that's dangerous.
How is it hard to understand to not walk into someone's house and post a video of them laying naked on their couch to millions of people on the internet? That's just so unacceptable. But I think one of the reasons this whole thing went so viral, other than the fact this girl's thought process is borderline crazy, is that no one could agree about the push door or was the door wide open. And I mean, I get why there's a hang up here, because if she actually, you know, pushed the door open to record a guy just laying there in his house and then, you know, turned herself into the victim, she's insane. And then we for sure have another member of the Hall of Fame of Influencer Morons. At this point, I need to start holding introduction ceremonies for these kinds of idiots, because I should be starting my videos like, welcome to the newest idiot who's now facing jail time for some social media content. Because at this rate, I'd say a lot of my videos are kind of like that. Anyway, people were arguing about the lighting, angles, wood grain, everything. But this is where the story took a life of its own, because while she was telling millions of people that DoorDash and TikTok were trying to bury her truth, police were piecing together a version of the events that looked very different from what she originally stated online. Because eventually, the police stepped in with their own findings, citing,
of course, because that's what these people always think, that they're smarter than everyone else, which is also connects very well to the I'm the perpetual victim mentality anyways, because it's all about me, 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 and therefore they think everyone else is stupid and I'm so smart, but they don't understand that the police has got professional investigators, so of course they have resources you don't have, they have access to footage you don't have, they have methods you don't even understand and know exist, so of course they're going to be able to piece together the thing and see that you're lying, and then you're going to be the stupid one.
Ring doorbell footage that reportedly showed her opening the door herself.
Okay.
Ma'am, why did you do that? So, ladies and gentlemen, they got her.
Sir, I have your DoorDash. Oh, ew! I'm a victim!
Number one, why would you ever do this to begin with? And number two, why would you do this when there's a Ring doorbell camera right there next to the door that you're opening? Like, did you not think he was going to review the footage after you exposed him to millions of people online?
It's one of the things that happens with people that think like this. It's the propaganda brain. In other words, she either didn't think of the ring door camera, it's either that, or she knew that the camera was there, but she thought she was in the right. In other words, what he did was so bad in her mind that she thought everything else would be permissible. It's very similar to what happened to Charlie Kirk and the celebration afterwards. Of course, shooting someone in the neck is an awful thing to do, but people will justify it because they say, well, in this case, it's fine because his words were violence. It's the same thing. So obviously, in this case, what she did is worse. But probably in her head, she thought that whatever he did would overrun anything that the footage could have shown, including her entering property, opening, pushing the door, and everything else.
With his pants down. What did you think was gonna happen? Either way, according to the police in Oswego, the man in the video was not sitting there waiting to expose himself to the delivery driver. He was sleeping and drunk, lying on his couch with no idea what was going on. And thankfully for him, the doorbell camera footage reportedly showed her opening the door herself, which does not add up with her story. So DoorDash then finally responded with its own statement. Without naming her, they said they take these kind of reports extremely seriously, and they never deactivate someone for reporting it, full stop. But they said that posting the video of a customer inside of their home along with their personal details was a clear violation of their policies. They said that was the reason.
It's a violation of the law.
Her account was deactivated, and they deactivated the customer's account too while they were investigating. And they also added that she still had full access to her money. Then everything hit a wall on November 10th, because that's when officers arrested Olivia Henderson and charged her with 2 counts of Class E felonies: unlawful surveillance and dissemination of an unlawful surveillance image. And
that's what I mean. I like how he's doing the report, by the way. First time I watched you, man, I like your channel. Very good job. Love your channel. One thing I want to say is, like, come on. All she needed to do was not push the door open and leave. But even after she pushed the door open and she filmed, she could have used that to send it to the police if she really thought it was some kind of essay. Not posting it online. That is the stupidest thing ever, because now she's got 2 felonies.
Charges usually apply to people who secretly record others in private settings: bathrooms, bedrooms, changing rooms, that kind of thing. But the legal idea is the same. Recording someone inside of their home when they have an expectation of privacy is criminal, even if the camera is technically outside of the door. Police said that she filmed a sleeping person and posted it publicly, which is exactly what these laws are written for. So the bottom line is, police found no proof of SA, and the man was asleep. And Olivia admitted the instructions for her order said to leave the food at the door, not inside of the home as she filmed. Her last TikTok was posted on October 26th, right after she said that she was being punished for reporting what happened. After the arrest, she didn't post anything at all. No defense, no clarification, no follow-up about what she plans to say in court. Her current next hearing is on December 4th, and depending on how the judge sees all the evidence, she could be looking at a whole lot of time here. And this can range from probation to years in state prison.
I don't think she's going to. If she's, what's the word, uncensored? No, that's not a word in English. Incensurata, is that what we say in Italian? Whatever. If she has never committed a crime, I don't think she's going to see jail. But she's definitely going to be in probation. And then if she, she's going to have some trouble with this. And I mean, I think the guy could sue. And if I were the guy, I would.
Because it looks like a Class E felony in New York can carry up to 4 years. And she's charged with 2 Class E felonies. So that could be a combined maximum of 8 years in prison.
Right.
Either way, it's no longer a he said, she said, and it's definitely not a conspiracy that TikTok doesn't want you to hear about. This is a criminal case with evidence and surveillance footage that was provided by the perpetrator. Yet again, for clout. How does this keep on happening? No, obviously, gig workers deal with real risks every day. Yes, women face real threats with entering private spaces alone. And yes, some companies have absolutely punished workers for speaking up. But if you film someone in their own home, post it online, accuse them of a crime that the police say never happened, and then you claim that you're being silenced when the platform you're on takes you down, you're in for it.
I was working. I was literally working. And they
I mean, even the way she screams at her face, I could tell. I can already tell it's one of them. I can see it, guys.
deactivated me. This is related. They just punished me for posting about my while door dashing. They just fired me, and the police are doing.
Oh my gosh, that face. Thank you, man. Very good video. Give you the like. Subscribe to Atozi. I'll check out more videos later for my dinner break. We could do that. Not DoorDash. Bye.